yeah, I'm getting rid of this thing. So I've had this thing for about 6 months, and while I am getting rid of it, I wanted to explain some things I liked about it, some things I don't like about it, and why I'm getting rid of this. And I think more importantly, if you should buy one, if it's worth the money, all that type of stuff, because I know these were like very viral for a while, and there's still like some different styles of this that are viral. And I know a lot of you are wondering, is this thing actually worth it? So I've had it for like 6 months now, so let's go over that. Let's start with some pros about this thing. First of all, comes in a box, very easy to set up, more or less, very light, portable. You can have it inside. You can't have, like, I've got the sweat tent back there, can't have that inside. It's got like a wood stove and stuff, but this you can have inside. It's very, very simple. You put water in, turn it on, very simple to turn on. Steamy in there. It's only been going for like 15 minutes. That is pretty steamy. I was just in there trying to take the thumbnail and like drenched. The other thing is, it is very cheap. So with a lot of saunas out there, I know there's like $5,000 saunas, there's the barrels, there's the sweat tent, which is like the cheaper version of the, like kind of the next level. And I think a lot of people, especially when they're getting started, one of the reasons why I was interested in this is like it's a starter one. Will I actually use this sauna consistently? It's kind of the same thing with the cold plunge. Before you go out and you buy like $1,000 cold plunge, get like $100 one and see if you're actually gonna do it. If you could do it in the $100 one for 6 months, go ahead, invest into, you know, a nicer one. But a lot of times people do it for a week, they stop doing it, like whatever. So that's one of the main things I think this is good for, is for people who are starting or they don't have space outside. So if you don't have space outside, you want to put this in your home, in your garage, in a corner of your room, I think it's like kind of perfect for this. And yes, I do have an affiliate link down below. You can check it out if you're interested in getting one of these. They are not paying me for this, however, so this is very honest feedback, and I am actually getting rid of it. So let's go over a couple of reasons why I stopped using this, even though it is probably the easiest sauna that I have anyways. And one is because of the temperature. So I got this sweat tent over here, which I love and I use almost every day, even though I have the same two here. And I use this and this every other day for like a month to kind of test out which one I liked better. And I noticed that with this one, the sweat tent, it gets up to 200 degrees. I usually get it like 170, 180. And I feel more detoxed when I do that one. Like I feel my shoulders get looser. It's a lot more intense. Like my heart is going. It's a very like fight or flight type thing with the sweat tent. Whereas this one is like you're sitting in a tropical rainforest. Like I was just in there for 2 minutes taking the thumbnail, and like everything's drenched instantly because there's so much steam in there. It's not as much, I would say, the heat, even though it's definitely heat, but it's more of like a steamy rainforest calming experience. That being said, sweat like crazy, but it's also incredibly moist in there because of all the steam of the water boiling up into it. So I don't know how much of that sweat is just water coming off. I'm not really sure how that works. I definitely sweat a lot in there, but it's two very different experiences. And for me, this is the perfect starter, but I have since upgraded to this, and I think this is, I haven't tried other saunas to be honest, but I think this is a awesome sauna, the sweat tent. I'll leave a link down to the sweat tent as well if you want to check that out. Again, this is, you know, $1,500. This is a couple $100, so very different price points. I would say this is, you know, beginner, maybe intermediate, and then the barrel would be excessive, maybe next level, but that's going to get the same temperature. So I don't know why you would need any more than that, honestly, besides like appearance maybe. So to go over a few things I did not like about this bad boy. One is if you go inside, you have to sit down and it's not as hot at the bottom as it is at the top. As things start to perspire, so it's like dripping down the walls, it's getting on the floor. The floor isn't really that hot. So my feet are sitting in like luke temperature water and my head's like sweating. So you can also stand in there, that's totally fine too. But just for me, it felt like I couldn't get my feet hot, if that makes any sense. And I didn't love being like half hot, half not hot, or at least feet not hot. And the same thing with the sweat tent, to be honest. Like I have to sit with my feet up on the stool in order for my entire body to be a relatively same temperature. If I keep my feet on the ground, they're not hot at all. It's gonna be like that with probably any sauna. But that being said, the chair that comes with this one specifically, I had to either tuck my legs up into or just accept that my feet weren't gonna sweat. Might not be a big deal to everybody, but it just kind of bugged me for some reason. I don't know why. Another thing is that while it has been pretty durable overall, I do not have a place for this to go inside actually, because there is a slight cut in the bottom and that does leak some water sometimes. So like once this gets going, there'll be like a slight trickle of water at the bottom. If there's any cuts in the plastic, which is relatively thin, then you might have some leaking. So if you have it inside, it might leak a little bit. I don't have it inside, so that doesn't bug me as much, but there are some wear and tear from having it outside because it's windy out here. So I had to put cinder blocks in the back corner in order to keep this from blowing over. It did blow over a few times anyways, so that just like took some engineering. That being said, I don't think most of you are gonna have it outside, but if you do, that could be a thing. All that being said, this is great for the price. If you're looking for a starter one, this is what I would recommend for people for starters. I'm actually giving this to my brother. It's gonna be his first sauna. And since I have two, I don't want to be greedy, so I'm giving him this one. Otherwise, I would keep it because I still have people who use it sometimes. I would still use it. Occasionally, I just mostly use that one because really solid if you're looking for a starter one. It's really affordable. And I got like the package that came with a little cold plunge, and that was my first cold plunge. It was great. I used that throughout the winter until I moved up to an ice barrel here. So I'll leave links to all these down below. They all have discounts. If you're interested in them, you want to support the channel a little bit. And hopefully this was helpful as to why I stopped using that bad boy. See you in the next video.